Welcome back, Vandana. This is one of my favorite topics. It's influencers sometimes come in a second, and sometimes they come in a lifetime. And we usually have many. Sometimes we notice them, sometimes we don't. When I speak, I talk a lot about my grandfather was one influencer early on in my life. Him, my grandmother, my mom, my aunt, they came from Kyiv, Ukraine, and they immigrated to Canada. And when I was about 5, he used to take me for walks in the park. And I saw that he talked to everybody, which is probably where I get that DNA from. I'm gathering. And one day I just asked him, I call him Zeta. I said, Zeta, how do you know all these people? And I remember him pointing. He said, you see that man over there? One day I smiled at him, and he looked at me and smiled at me. And he came over and started talking to me. And then we started becoming best friends. And then someone else saw us smiling and laughing and came over and talked to us. And I thought, as a 5 year old, I said, well, life's pretty simple. I just have to smile at people. And as a 5 year old, it's pretty simple anyway, is life, but that was what I thought. And I remember thinking that. And then you get older and you start complicating it, but it's really not complicated. Smile sometimes is a big influence in itself to people. Again, I know we all have a lot of influencers, but can you share two or three people that have been influential in your life?
So I think role models matter more than we realize. And during tough times, seeing how someone else found a way can make plenty of a difference. And a role model does not have to be a famous person. Sometimes it can be a parent, a teacher, or
Yeah.
someone you've never met but whose story you admire. For me, one of the biggest role models, has been my mother. She came from a generation where opportunities for women were rare, yet she always carried herself with grace. Of course, she's taught me everything that made me who I am, but especially I admire her for her discipline, resilience, and her ability to keep her calm, come what may. Even when circumstances were challenging, she never gave up. And she is, and I think all mothers, to some extent, nothing short of, heroes. And another person who inspired me deeply is Sudha Murthy. What I admire about her is how she stays connected to people and lives with humility. She shows that it is possible to build a successful career and remain kind and approachable. From her, I learned that doing well in life and doing good for others can go hand in hand. But role models do not always have big names. Sometimes it's a founder I worked with, sometimes younger than me, finding strength to get back on their feet despite, facing difficulties. Sometimes it's a team member who manages both work and family with balance. And sometimes it's a teacher or a mentor from early days who had the courage to uplift others and give out radiant energy. All of these people have shaped the way I think and also who I am. And I also believe role models can um, change over time. As you grow, you find new people to learn from. Sometimes it's a podcast guest, an author, or just a conversation with a friend that makes you realize how much they have grown over time. Now, what is important is that you stay open to be inspired. For anyone starting out, I would say this, that always stay open to seeing the lessons in others. Watch how they listen, how they solve problems, and how they carry themselves when things get tough. The best roles models do not tell you how to live your life. They just show up, and show you that it can be done, and that it can be done with grace, strength, and a sense of purpose. Now, at the end of the day, role models prove that tough times don't last, tough people do. And we build by learning from those who came before us. When it is our turn, we can help those who come after. And in that way, role models are more just than the people we look up to. They become a part of the story we write for ourselves and for others.
Yeah, that's beautiful. The term role model is you're modeling how to be in that role. And
Yeah.
I think it's beautiful what you say. I also think we should always remember that we're influencing people all the time. Sometimes, many times, we don't, might not even know it, but we are influencing people. We have a choice to be positive or not, and usually positive is the way to go, and stuff like that. But beautiful, brilliant. Thanks for sharing all that.
Thank you. Thank you so much.